Welcome to Grow Overload. I'm Anthony, and I want to give you some thoughts on the Ubiquiti Flex. Now, this is just a little 5-port switch with power over Ethernet on all your ports. So it just comes off here. You got all your ports here. This is to, kind of cable up your wires here, but you got 5 ports. Your power over Ethernet in can be on one, and then also all 5 ports. Let's see if I can get that focused properly. Yep, there you go. You can see your first port's your power, and then all the other ports can be power over Ethernet as well. And the reason why I like this is because, from, my switch to my garage, I just ran 2 Ethernet ports, and then I have a couple access points in there and 3 cameras as well. So filling up this switch pretty fast. And what's nice about it is that you take a 60 watt PoE adapter, and well, this one's still in the box. I have this sitting up and running already in my house here in my garage. This is for another install at my parents. But you got the PoE 60, and it'll power up to then. That'll then be one cord in, so you don't have to have power here or anything else. And then all your 4 other ports are also powered already, so you can run your cameras, you can run your, access points. And I really like that because then that gives you a little bit more flexibility. Also in scenarios where you you're a little bit remote, want to run stuff in, you can do stuff like that as well. And this is kind of the interesting side of this device. You're full gig on this, right? So the specs on this are full gig on all of it. Now, um, that's on all ports. It's 46 watts of available PoE on here, and that's if that's a 46 watt input. So you have a 60 watt PoE adapter, and it figures it out. And you can, there's settings in the Ubiquiti network that all allow you to adjust this, and they've made some improvements there lately as well. And then your power budget is there. You can go down for each port, which is, they have them PoE plus on here, and then you have all your link and everything else. So it works really well. This did a great job for where it is. It sits in a garage, so I've had it for a year. It gets down really cold in there. These are outdoor rated. It comes with a pole mount, so you can mount this right to a pole with straps. I mount mine to a wall, so that's not needed. And the switching capability is 10 gigabits per second with 5 gigabits a non-blocking throughput. That's on this. That's what they say. And yeah, that's basically it for all the ports on there, and or for everything on here for this little device. Now, again, this is a gig device. It's gigabyte all the way through, and as you're thinking, you said, well, you're using Wi-Fi on this too, right? You have access points and everything else, and that's where, as much as I like this device, I really wish Ubiquiti would. Let's put it here. Maybe I'll put it like this, and that's one thing I really wish Ubiquiti would actually come out with another one. Now, what I would like is just about the same price. I'd still like about $100 range, because that's what this is. Now they do have a Flex 10 gig, but it doesn't have, it's just power up the gigabit port, and then everything else is 10 gig, but it doesn't have PoE on those, etc. And they got the Flex Mini, which is just, you just power it up with power over Ethernet, and also then gig ports there. What I'd like to see here is, let's go, I'm trying to think about how to keep costs down, right? For about $100, why don't we make port 1 power over Ethernet, but let's do that like 2.5 gig. Or if you could make the price work, 10 gig, and then from there you do gig ports or whatever. Just kind of keep that price in a reasonable range, and I think that would be, that would kind of give you the extra bandwidth you need in case everything is, in case you have a couple access points, cameras, everything else, and people are connecting, and that that leg of your network can have a 2.5 gig backhaul basically on that. Now that would be really nice, to be able to do that, and that's kind of where I'd be like, you know what, that would be really nice. Now there is a what is it, an enterprise PoE with 120 watts and stuff, where you still need power, I think, there to power it. And it's, a lot of these do have power, where you could get that extra little bit. Now, the nice thing is I'm running this off my network with a PoE at the local, at my network rack rather than remotely. And that's why I like this so much, because I don't have to have power wherever that switch will be. It's, that's a powered on remotely, um, remotely at the rack rather than downstream. So, that's where I would really like to see Ubiquiti go. Now, will they do it? I think time will be one thing there, but overall, I really like the Switch. I mean, it works great. Granted, then you spend the extra money and you get the Power over Ethernet adapter. They used to be black. Now they got a white one here, and it works well there if it ever decides to focus. PoE plus 60 watts there. So I like to see stuff like that and get that Ubiquiti has, and you can just be able to do that. Now, yeah, that's a little bit of what I want. So my thoughts: it works great, right? This is used for cameras. It's used for one access point right now. The other access point is ran directly back, but I would definitely I probably might need another one depending upon how my house is all going to be set up here, um, with stuff. But having a little bit of extras here, I want to put one of these in a solar system, powered up over solar, and so you have that aspect of it to be able to run, um, with a solar PoE input right here, and then run that to be able to run cameras and a Wi-Fi access point to communicate back with my network in a remote area. And these are all the things that are kind of cool that you can do and with something like this. So they show it a lot with their with cameras on it and stuff like that. And this is just another thing that you could do. This is some of my thoughts on this device. It's not a full review. I'm not going to do speed test or anything else through here and load it up and try to do networking. And there's a billion things you could try to test on there. But if you're looking for something that powers up the device and or PoE in, and then has 4 PoE downstream from it, this is a device to consider as well. Um, have I ever needed an extra port? Not yet. I could see a reason to have an extra port if needed, but yeah, right now 5 ports works pretty well. Right, you have the one in, and then you have basically a 4 port there for everything else. And I like how they did that, because a lot of times 3 is just when you have just a 4 port with one in and 3 out, it kind of gets like I like to have that extra port. And 5 ports with the 4 downstream items kind of works out quite well. So let me know if you have any questions on this device. I want to get my thoughts on it because the one I have is being used, and I ordered this one for my parents. So since I had it here before I'm going to go install it, I figured, give some information, my thoughts on it. You guys can see the device a little bit, and yeah, overall it works quite well. Right, I'm powering this with the PoE, and it's because the 2.5 gig switch I have does not just do the 60 PoE plus plus through it to power this, but that's why you have the adapter. So with that, thanks so much for watching and supporting Gray Overload. I really do appreciate it, and everything you do. Like, share, subscribe, hitting the bell icon. It really, really does help out the channel. And until next time, God bless.